Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the best-selling Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love, Consulting the Cards and Matters of the Heart. And for those of you who have bought the book and loved it and wrote a review on Amazon, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart because it really does help my work get out there more. So if you have read the books and you haven't written a review yet, you don't even understand how much that means to authors to have that done because it really does help other people get an idea of what's in the work. So, with that out of the way, let's get into the Oracle reveal. So, yesterday on Instagram, I placed up a photo of three different animals and I asked you to use your intuition and just ask yourself which animal's calling to you because that animal has your message. And the animals were the skunk, the sloth, and the dove. So if you're just joining me now, ask yourself which animal's getting stuck in your head. It doesn't have to be your favorite animal, it just has to be the one that's sort of nagging at your consciousness right now, because that's where your message is. So, for those of you who picked the skunk, the card says effectiveness, passivity, and prudence. And the skunk will tell you how to be effective by your body language, how you're showing up. Everybody in the animal kingdom, and including human beings, respects the skunk. When we see one, we know immediately we're not going to mess with that. And so, skunk is all about how your bearing is, how other people are perceiving your energy. Are you showing up apologetically, or are you feeling like you're insecure or shouldn't be there? Are you commanding respect? Or are you walking in your power? Are you walking your talk? Are you really standing in the dignity that is you? That is what the skunk can really teach. First card for skunk is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And we got the Eight of Swords, which for me can sometimes be a card of destructive passivity. If you're overly passive and you're just hoping and wishing and waiting for something to get better, or you're thinking that somehow automatically one day things are just going to work your way without any effort, without any work toward it, or without even some self improvement, this Eight of Swords snaps you out of that illusion. So the Eight of Swords is all about untying yourself from mental knots that are keeping you stuck in either a destructive cycle or that are making you feel limited in some way. And swords cards in the tarot, they can be challenging, but they often have to do with our mind or our mindset, where we're placing our focus. And so with the Eight of Swords, this is really about shifting your perspective, shifting your mindset towards powerlessness or away from powerlessness towards being powerful. That's what the card's all about. Second card is going to be advice from your inner wisdom. And we actually get the Seven of Pentacles. And for me, this is the card that represents the number one word everyone hates to hear in a tarot reading, which is patience. It isn't yet harvest time. Maybe you're working really hard towards something, or maybe you're even hoping that something is going to get better, and yet it's just not its time to ripen yet. This can be a really frustrating lesson when we're so fixated on that one thing we desire more than anything else in our life. And then we might feel powerless, like, oh, well, I guess it's not happening, so I guess that means I should just quit, or I'm just stuck with things the way they are. I'm kind of getting a feeling from these two cards that you're needing to have an eye on the long game, that you're really needing to look at the plan as something that's going to germinate for a time. Seven of Pentacles says that a lot of investment in your best life has already been made. And now you're just needing to sort of let life catch up with where your vision is. And so that's another problem with a lot of intuitive people. We can see the future, we can see where we're going to be or what we want to be or what we're going to attain. And when our present situation doesn't resemble that, we start to think, oh, maybe I'm on the wrong track. Maybe that's something that I should rethink. And I just think that you're needing to let things play out a little bit more. And a watch pot never boils. With these two cards, the Eight of Swords is like, don't fixate so much on this thing and try to force it to work. But at the same token, you're needing to, with that Seven of Pentacles, just kind of be patient as things are ripening. And maybe you're needing to take action on something unrelated to this thing that you're really fixated on. Maybe there's another part of your life that's neglected, and the universe is making you wait on this thing to grow so that you can get this other thing back on track. So I just kind of get a feeling with both of these cards that it's time to do your work. It's time to get back to what you've been avoiding. And the mythic archetype that can help you with this is Achilles. He is the great hero of the Iliad, and he is the one who has a young, short life. He only is destined to live for just such amount of time. And because of that, he has this sense of urgency, like, I need to make it count. And so I feel with Achilles, it's like if something in your life isn't working the way you want it to right now, don't waste your time pining for that thing. Get to work on something else. Make it count now because we don't know how long we got or what's going to happen or how things are going to develop later. So, again, don't be passive, but get action. Next, we're going to go into the Sloth card. And this card says tranquility, tolerance, and diplomacy. And sloths get a bad rap. You know, you think of sloth like you're just lazy or whatever. But I like this interpretation of the card because it's the sloth is peaceful. And whenever you look at these gentle animals, their little face, they're just kind of like, they're just chilling in the tree, they're just relaxing. And so this is about being present and mindful. First card for Sloth is where it's best to place your focus. And we got the Two of Cups, which is a relationship card. I feel for Sloth, it's time to bring peace to your interactions with other people. It might also be a time to just chillax about things in relationships and how you're communicating. And also maybe be a little bit more of a listener instead of just a talker. So I just think with this Two of Cups for Sloth, a lot of the harmony you're looking for is going to come from your interactions, but you also want to be mindful of the energy you're bringing to those interactions. Next, we got the advice from your inner wisdom, and we get the King of Wands. He, to me, is the self made king. He's competent. He works himself up from nothing and he develops himself over time. He's also the wise counselor of the tarot. And when I see the Two of Cups next to the King of Wands, I'm feeling like there could be some wise counsel that you want to seek out this next week. This can really illuminate what the next step should be. But I just feel like, as well, nobody gets to where they're going with their goals all by themselves. Everyone gets help. And so I'm kind of feeling like this is a time to open up to that. And the mythic archetype that's helping the sloth is actually Pontos. He is the concept of the unknown, that there's a lot that you don't know yet. And I think that there are people who are in the know. And so for the sloth this week, it's not a time to just, completely be sloth-like and wait for things. It's time to make some phone calls. It's time to get that information from the people who are in the know. They can really illuminate what you might not know about the current situation. And then finally, we got the Dove card. And this card says compassion, healing, and harmony. And dove is known for peace. It's known for it being a very spiritual animal connected to the other side, relatives that have passed on. When dove comes up, it could just be a time when you want to tune into what your ancestors might be trying to communicate to you at this time, to listen for those voices. First card for dove is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And we get the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups can represent a sense of getting in a trance, looking at what isn't working, what's disappointing, maybe even what you're grieving, what you're sad about. And we don't want to sugarcoat the Five of Cups and say, never feel bad, or, when something negative comes up, just paper over it. But there are still two cups that are upright on the Five of Cups, although three are upside down. There is a sense that there's a limit to how much you want to let yourself just ruminate about something, chew on it, feel depressed and despondent about it. I feel with Five of Cups, it's important to feel the thing, but then to feel your way out of it so that you don't get trapped in that trance where hours, days, months, weeks, years are going by and nothing has changed. So I'm just kind of feeling like put a limit on it, put a timer on it for how long you're going to dwell. Second card is advice from your inner wisdom, and we get the Page of Pentacles, which is all about being proactive with learning, educating yourself. Sometimes we get stuck in a rut or stuck on something that we're feeling that's impassable because we don't know the way around it or how to deal with it. And the Page of Pentacles is saying that I'm sure there's people who've been on a similar journey that you are on at this time, and you're needing to do a little research and figure out, well, how did they overcome it? Because it can be done. And so Page of Pentacles is saying knowledge is going to be power for you. And the mythic archetype that's going to help you if you pick the dove is Artemis, the goddess of selfhood. She's telling you to be yourself, to go independently, to be in search of your true meaning, the true message that your life is here to bring. It's time to transcend some of these worries and start to learn about those things that make you unique on your own path. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, check me out at elliotoracle.com. You can schedule a one-on-one session with me there. Otherwise, I hope you all have a safe and happy week, and I'll see you again next time.